Hey guys, welcome back to another plan with me. This week I'm planning from March 6th to the 12th, and I'm using this Coraline kit from SPC for no reason other than the fact that it gave me early spring vibes. I'm not sure why, maybe you see it too. It's definitely like the colors and stuff make me just think early spring. I don't know. And I'm sort of regretting not saving it because I've been in the mood to rewatch Coraline, so maybe it would have made more sense to use this kit whenever I watch the movie again, but whatever, we're here and I love it, so I'm not mad about it at all. This was also a, what is it, deluxe kit? Is that what they're called for SPC? And I very rarely get these just because they're so, they're a splurge, but I always have such a good time when I use one. It's just so nice having 1,000,001 labels. But yeah, this week, what happened? Okay, I remember. I will be talking about some weight and body image related things. So if you don't want to hear that, totally understand. See you next time. But I am going to mention it just because that it was sort of a big part of my week. And I also burnt out this week for sure. I had plans on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And by Sunday, I was just so tired and overwhelmed with, having to go back to work on Monday. And I guess I'll just go into it a little bit now so that I don't go on and on later in the plan with me. But what happened Thursday, I had plans to go get some drinks with a couple friends, and I do really like them. I want to see them, but I was definitely in one of those nesting moods. I really just wanted to stay home. I didn't want to put on makeup. I was feeling really ugly in all of my clothing. And yeah, just going out was not what I wanted to do. Looking back, I'm glad that I went. I'm glad I did everything that I did do this week, but it was definitely way too much, and it just did not set me up for success in the days following. And then Friday, my boyfriend was playing a show, playing guitar in his friend's band, and it was near my apartment, and he was able to get me in for free. And so even though I was really tired and I didn't want to go, I sucked it up and I went, and it was awful. I will admit, not him, actually, they sounded really good, and I'm not being biased. I'm they actually sounded pretty good, but the other two bands that played, I was in hell, and I wanted to leave so badly, but not bad enough to pay for an Uber for the 2-minute drive home, because it wasn't safe enough for me to walk back home, but not awful enough for me to waste $20 when I live literally a 10-minute walk away. So I sucked it up, but oh my God, I was so tired. And then afterwards, he ended up coming back over because he, had been practicing and doing all this stuff for the show, and all he wanted to do was just sit with me and watch some trash reality TV. So how could I say no? But that did mean I didn't go to bed on Friday until 2:30 in the morning. And then Saturday, I also had plans. They were really good plans, and I'm so happy that I did them. But I didn't get to sleep until 4:30 in the morning. And it was just day after day after day of that, not to mention I had work on Thursday and Friday. So I was just stretched way too thin, and it all came crashing down on Sunday. But anyway, we will get to all that. Let's start with the day by day. First things, Monday. So the first thing I marked on Monday was that I was just fantasizing about quitting, as I do every morning when I wake up after getting 4 hours of sleep on Sunday, because I'm not a real adult and I cannot get myself into bed before 1 a.m. on Sunday. It has not happened once since I started this job, and I usually wake up 2 to 3 times in the middle of the night just from nerves. So yeah, no different this day. And of course, it was my in-office day because I like to get it over with on Monday. On my break, I walked to the Center City Erie location. Maybe some of you can help, but I am really struggling finding a bra that my boobs don't fall out of when I bend over. But this day I picked up a bra to try in hopes, because it looked really comfortable. It looked like it wouldn't. That's my other criteria. I really want to find a nude bra that doesn't leave lines, really obnoxious cup lines under like thinner material. I have a lot of like thin flowy tank tops that I like to wear in the summer, and you can always like see my bra. And I hate it. So anyway, this one was not that, unfortunately. She did go back, but I tried, and it wasn't a total loss because my total steps for the day, or I shouldn't say steps, I don't remember the steps, but I walked 3.47 miles in total this day, which made me feel really good, and obviously that little trip to Erie helped with that. Later after work, I walked to CVS to pick up my birth control, and then I did mark that I ate way too much crap. It's so hard, especially when I'm at Joe's place, because he has so much candy, so many snacks, bags and bags and bags of chips. Like, I don't keep that much bad stuff at my place. I limit myself to having one type of dessert in my apartment at a time, because that way it helps me not go overboard. I just treat myself to one after dinner treat, Does that make sense? Anyway, but this day I ate way too much crap. And then the final thing was we watched Don't Worry, Darling, which I really enjoyed. It's very Stepford Wife-esque, which is definitely my thing. I loved it. I will admit that there are a lot of loose ends, and some of the acting could be a little questionable. Not the lead, she was fantastic. But yeah, the explanation definitely doesn't really hold water. But if you let that go, it's really enjoyable. I know a lot of people didn't like it, but I definitely did. I would recommend it if you like that type of movie, and if you're not going to harp on the fact that they didn't really explain everything perfectly. Moving on to Tuesday, the first thing I marked was that I went home, and to my surprise, a pleasant surprise, the cats had not destroyed anything, which was fantastic. There were no hairballs on the carpet or litter everywhere or, anything like that. They had been pretty chill. They hadn't destroyed any furniture or knocked down my bookcase. So that's always nice to come home to. Then I marked that just work sucked this day. And lately I've been telling myself that someday I'm going to have a job and I'm going to have a lot of responsibilities, and I'm going to miss this time in my life where I had next to nothing to do some days. Right now it's sort of torturous because I need tasks in order to make the time go by. Just sitting and staring and being available and trying to find work to do is sort of hell. But yeah, I'm trying to look on the bright side. Someday I will look back on this and miss it. So we're trying to live in the moment a little. Trying. I say that very gently. We're trying. On my break, I did an upper body workout, and then after work, I deep cleaned the cat area. I always wipe it down and stuff, but I scrubbed their mat and cleaned out the water fountain and scrubbed their bowls and replaced their bowls and all that fun stuff. So it's definitely not my favorite chore, but it must be done for the babies. And then after work, I decided to start my taxes. I gave myself the goal of just starting. I was just going to do it for 30 minutes just to get my, foot in the door, and then I was going to stop and enjoy my evening. But let me know if you're this way, but once I start a task, it's really, really, really hard for me to stop, especially if it's something I don't want to do. Once I'm on a roll, I can't stop until it's done, and I ended up not getting anywhere. But I did my taxes for 2 hours, and then I think the site I was using wasn't showing the correct amount because basically in 2022 I was an independent contractor and I paid quarterly taxes, but when I input my quarterly taxes, it wasn't bringing my what I owe, it wasn't bringing that number down at all. So it was saying that I had paid thousands and thousands of dollars but still owed the exact same amount of thousands and thousands of dollars. It was very confusing, very stressful, and I just quit. So total waste of time. And then Joe came over just to watch SNL, and then he went on his merry way. And then I unfortunately ended my evening when I was changing into my PJs. I caught a glimpse of myself in my full body mirror and then spent 30 minutes staring at my repulsive body and nitpicking everything, which is incredibly unhealthy and so toxic, especially in my mirror, because this full-length mirror, and I've known this since I bought it, so I need to chill out, but it makes everything look wider. Ever so slightly, it makes you look wider. It's the most unflattering mirror ever. If I was smart, I'd replace it, but mirrors are expensive, so we're not doing that right now. But yeah, so not a cute way to end the evening. Moving on to Wednesday, the first thing I marked is that once again, I did not have enough work to make the time go by, so the day was just dragging. After work, I had actually dumped all of my pants and shorts out in the middle of my floor so that I'd be forced to go through them, because I've really been not wanting, but I need to go through all my clothes. I need to go like donate a bunch of stuff that I no longer wear, that no longer fits me, etc. And it's just really hard for me. I don't enjoy it at all. So I, after work, forced myself to go through all of my pants and all of my shorts. And it was definitely not the best for my mental health, because I no longer fit in my favorite pair of shorts. Last summer, I was able to squeeze in them and like be a human. And then the year before that, they fit me perfectly. And the year before that, they fit me perfectly. But this year, they do not fit me at all. And I'm devastated, because not only are they my favorite pair, but that's just confirmation that I have gotten bigger. So that's, that sucks. And then also, like, there are a couple pairs of much, much older pants that I honestly don't ever plan on wearing again. And I just sort of keep them to torture myself. But I tried on a pair of pants that I used to fit. They used to fit me so well, and I can't even button them anymore. And it was just like, I don't know, it was hard. Like, they still fit me when I first met my boyfriend. They fit me really well, and they fit me for like most of our relationship. And just, I don't know, the past few years, just boom, 30 hit me hard, let me just say. So that was really tough. And it's also sort of like a wake-up call, because I remember when I fit into these pants, I still didn't think I was too thin, because that's just our society. So I need to tell myself, like, I'm fine. Those pants, I was much younger then, just get rid of them. So that is what I did. Then I called my grandmother just to check up on her, because she had a pretty big life change. She decided to move out of her boyfriend's place. Thank God, I hate that guy. And then move in with my uncle. So that was very good news, but it just came at a very stressful time. Maybe I'll go into that a different time, but I don't want to. I need to catch up with myself now in this plan with me, but it was just a little bit stressful, because I do use her address in New Jersey as my permanent address, just because my car won't pass inspection in PA, but it will in New Jersey. So I just like keep it that way. But because I had to get my passport, yada, 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 I'm going to cut it short there. So then I got on the treadmill to walk 2 miles, and I hysterically cried the entire time, which was very therapeutic. I felt much better afterwards, but yeah, I just got really overwhelmed with life. And then the final thing on Wednesday, I did a voiceover. Moving on to Thursday, the first thing I marked was that I had tasks this day at work, which was so exciting. The day flew by. It's just the best feeling when you've done something and then you look down at the time and it's been an hour and you're like, oh boy. So that was cool. But this was the evening where I had to go out. So I just marked don't make me, because I really didn't want to put on makeup and get dressed up. And then as I was leaving to meet them, I caught the post office. What are they called? The mail person, and she was leaving a bunch of packages just right outside our door, so I had to give her the new door code. So I don't think she's the one who was stealing, so it's fine. I don't really like her, though. She doesn't put our mail in the mailboxes. She literally opens the gate and tosses everybody's mail in a giant pile at the foot of the stairs of the building. Just a giant pile of everybody's mail. Like, how obnoxious. And we've definitely had a couple things go missing, so hasn't been cute. Then I marked that my makeup looked like shit. And then I walked. So I did feel better about going out to eat this day, because I did walk quite a few miles in order to meet my friends on South Street. The bar that we were planning on going to, though, was closed because there was an apartment fire in the apartments above. So every single business on this block was closed, including where we were going to go. So we decided to go to the Continental Diner in Center City, which I love. If you are ever in Philly, go and get the Brussels sprouts at the Continental Diner. So good. And it's really cool. They have like a rooftop that's closed and heated And we were able to get a last minute table up there without a reservation. So that worked out great. And then my one friend and I were sort of ready to end the night because we had to wake up and work the next day. But our other friend, she did not have work, and she was also celebrating getting a new job. And so she really just wanted to get one more drink at the Four Seasons, and she did treat. So that was very sweet of her. So we did go even though we were tired. And it was actually really cool. We went up in the elevator, and it's one of those glass elevators, so you can see the entire city all lit up. And we went all the way up to the 60th floor. And there's this amazing bar up there, but we didn't stay up there just because all the seating was taken and we didn't really feel like standing. So we went back down to a bar called Vernick, which is on the first floor of the Four Seasons. And then I had to suck it up and pay for an Uber, even though Joe later was like, I would have driven you, but that's too high maintenance for me. Like, he's not even coming with me, and I'm not going to his place. Like, I would feel a certain type of way asking him to pick me up from Center City, drive me home, and then just go home, So I would have had to, I don't know. I just Ubered. It was fine. It's okay if I do it every once in a while, even though I hate it. And then I just went straight to bed. Moving on to Friday, the first thing I marked was that I woke up with zits, which was awesome. I have not been having as many breakouts, which has been nice, but this morning was a rude awakening. And then I had my shorter work day. I ended up taking a nap after work because I was so tired, and I napped much longer than I meant to, so that was sort of a bummer. I had wanted to do some planning, but that just didn't happen. Then I got ready and had myself a little solo drink, which I don't think I've done since I was 23. I never drink by myself ever, but it was actually really nice and relaxing. But then I got the bad news that Joe was not going to have enough time to come pick me up because they had to do a sound check. And so I had to walk to the venue myself. I couldn't drive. I just had a drink. So I had to walk in the freezing, pouring rain all the way there. So that was not fun. And then I just marked that I was in hell at that show. His set was bearable, and then the second they were done, I was ready to leave, but I had to sit through these two bands that played a million songs, and they were bad. Okay, they were bad. And they were so confident for some reason. They were so bad. And then the final thing I marked for Friday was I didn't have room to mark it, but we stopped at a CVS because he had 7 extra care bucks, and we just bought a bunch of random snacks, including dried fruit crisp things that I ate. And then we just watched The Bachelor. And yeah, I didn't get to bed until 2:30, so I was exhausted. Moving on to Saturday, the first thing I marked was that I planned this morning. I then got ready, and then we had plans to go to our friend's house to eat pizza, which was exactly what I wanted to do. Very low key, and also they live in a very nice neighborhood, so it's nice to get out of the city and be somewhere clean and quiet. So we did that, and that was great. They did get Costco pizza, which I don't love, but beggars can't be choosers. I had a great time, and they're amazing hosts, so that was very, very nice. But then we didn't leave there until after midnight, and I don't know, we got back at 2 a.m. And then Joe was like, please, can we just please watch just one episode of The Last of Us? I was on death's door. But I said yes, and I fell asleep on the couch, so I missed 10 minutes of it, but it's okay. It was a boring part, so it's fine. But I did miss some of it. I was so tired. And then the show ended. We finished it at quote unquote 3:30. It was actually 4:30 because it was daylight savings. So I silently wept. Not really, but I was oh my God, it's 4:30 in the morning. That was not cute. I'm already so sleep deprived at this point, but whatever, went straight to bed. Moving on to Sunday, the first thing I marked was that I was on the verge of tears all day. I was just so used up and burnt out, and I had some errands that I needed to run, which I just really didn't want to do. I was just sad and anxious and overwhelmed. And so the thing I always do that I'm trying not to do anymore, we'll see how it goes, is I doom scrolled on TikTok because that's easy for my brain to digest, but was definitely not the move because that just ends up making me more anxious and make me feel like I'm wasting more time. So gonna try to cut that out. But then Joe, because he's really good at getting me to get up when I'm spiraling, he was like, let's go do your errands. I will drive you. I will, drop you off right in the front of your apartment and pick you up, and like, you won't have to do anything. And so he drove me to Trader Joe's, got a great parking spot. I got some groceries, and then we came back to my apartment so I could take care of the cats because my roommate was away. And then that made me feel so much better, and I wish I had done it earlier in the day because I wasted a lot of the day stressing about having to do these things, and once they're done, I feel 20 pounds lighter. So I have to stop procrastinating on Sundays. But yeah, so he was a big help with that. And then we watched the MTV Challenge and The Last of Us. I did manage to read a little bit before bed, which is one of my goals. And then I had insomnia and night sweats because Sunday, yeah, I do not do well on Sundays. We're trying to fix it. Like, I think this Sunday I'm going to be very purposeful and like do something with my day, whether it's play tennis with a couple friends or see my grandmother. I'm going to do something easy though. I need like a nice, easy breezy Sunday. So that is the goal. We will see. And I will also try to get my chores done a little bit earlier. So yeah, but anyway, that is everything for this week. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.